and welcome to another review. As part of my mini-series on some more affordable palettes, this time I will be reviewing a palette from P2, which is called the Luxury Designer Eye Makeup Palette. And I have this in the shade 040 Beautiful Chicago. And I know there are at least 3 more options of this palette available. I believe there is another one that has Vienna in its name, and I think there might be another one with Hawaii and then another one. Now you may have heard of this makeup brand P2. This is a makeup brand that, to my knowledge, it is exclusive to a chain of drugstores that can be found all over Western, Central, and Eastern Europe. And that drugstore is called DM, or in German DM. So anyways, this palette comes with just a clear lid packaging, no mirror, as you can see. And then when you open it, it actually has a small insert, a plastic insert, that tells you what the individual products in here are supposed to be used for. So you have highlighter here, and then gel eyeliner, and then the eyeshadows are labeled 1, 2, 3. And then it also comes with a dual-ended sponge tip applicator. And I will say that the sponge on this one is nicer than the one you get with very affordable palettes. And then it has this little brush in here that is actually very useful for applying the gel eyeliner that is provided in this palette. So let's go on to the swatches. As you can see, this palette comes with 4 shades of eyeshadow, a beige that can be used as a highlighter, and then 3 different shades of purple, and then a dark purple cream eyeliner. So first the beige. When you touch this, you will see that they are very buttery soft, and the pigmentation is actually quite nice. I did not apply a lot of pressure while picking this up. This is a very nice shimmery beige or champagne tone, very, very nice. And it works very nice as a highlight. Then the biggest eyeshadow here, because the pens do have different sizes. This is a very soft purple, and although all these purples in the pen look like they are very cool toned, on the skin I find that this largest shade actually looks a little bit pinkish, so a little bit warmer. Also very nice and buttery soft. Pigmentation very nice as well. Then the darkest purple. This is definitely a cooler toned, really dark purple. And then the medium tone. A purple with a little bit more blue than this pinkier one over here. Although, I mean, this is not all the way pinky, but it is definitely warmer tone than the medium toned purple and the dark toned purple. So these colors all really swatch really nicely. And now let's see the cream eyeliner. Nice and pigmented. And I find this applicator to be quite useful. As you can see, depending on which side of the applicator you use, you can get a fairly thin line. And I actually do use this palette with the applicator that was provided with it. And I like the fact that the inclusion of this small applicator, while not the best in absolute terms in the world, still makes this palette very portable and very easy to use on the go. And in that regard, I almost wish it had a mirror, because that would have made it even better for use on the go. If I were to give this palette a grade, I would probably give it an 8. It is nice that you get in one compact product almost everything you need for an eye look. You have all the shades of eyeshadow you need for a really nice purple look that you can adjust from all the way from pretty natural up to pretty smoky. The shades are really very pretty. As you have seen in the swatches over here, all of them are shimmery, and the darkest shade, the one right here or right here in the pan, is the one that has the least shimmer, up to the point where you could basically call this one a matte, the darkest shade. All the other ones are definitely shimmery. I like the inclusion of the cream eyeliner with it, and it has remained very nice and creamy. This palette retails for, I believe, €4.45. At any rate, it is under €5. So you're getting a good value for your money. You also have all the applicators in case you need to do your makeup on the go or in case you need to touch up. And those have come in handy for me on some occasions where I wore this on a windy day and I get terribly teary eyes and I had basically just cried off my entire makeup. So I had to redo it in the car and I was able to get a pretty decent looking eye look with just the tools provided in this palette and the products provided in this palette. It is small, it is compact, it is affordable. The shadows are nicely pigmented. The color selection is very nice. And as somebody who really likes purple, I was attracted to these cooler toned purples. The one downside to this palette, besides the lack of a mirror, which is not such a big thing, is actually one of the features that most attracted me to this palette when I first swatched it in the store. And I'm talking here about the buttery softness of the eyeshadows. These are really very nice and buttery soft. But that means that if you're not very careful in the way you apply them to your eyelids, they can be quite prone to creasing. I don't see a lot of fading with them, but depending on how I have prepared my eyelids before starting the makeup application process, I do find that they can crease horribly. But obviously there is a way around that, and the trick I have found is that if you're going to wear the shades from this palette, what you would want to do is really not go overboard with your moisturizer. So make sure that you apply just the minimum amount of moisturizer to your eye area and that your eyelids are as dry as possible. Now granted, if you tend to have oily eyelids naturally, I would probably just completely stay away from this product because it will crease horribly. And the second step after the moisturizer is applying a good primer. And I find that drier primers, as opposed to those that leave a kind of creamy feeling on your eyelids, do work best for this palette. And really does not have to be an expensive primer. I find that the $1 e.l.f. Essential Primer just works great for this palette. I get no creasing after an entire day's use of this. Another thing is that the cream eyeliner sometimes, depending on how thick you applied it, can be prone to transfer, and that is not the best thing. Maybe if you get the feeling that the layer of cream eyeliner you have on your eyes is a bit too thick, it would be a good idea to try to set it with this darkest purple shade, and I think that that would look nice and it would give you just a softer look. Now having said that, I have found that this cream eyeliner is a very nice base for a lot of looks using these shades or other shades. So if you just want to apply it all over the lid and then just pop another eyeshadow on top, it will give you a very nice crease-proof look that will not budge for the entire day. So I would say that out of such a small palette and such an affordable palette, you get pretty nice value. The range of finished makeup looks that I have gotten out of this palette looked very nice and refined. You just have to be a bit careful in preparing your skin, the canvas for your makeup, before wearing these eyeshadows because they are so buttery soft. So that's why I gave it just an 8. I hope that this review was helpful. Thank you so very much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!